Welcome to
a podcast.
Toys from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. What are we talking about?
This is rumored. I'm not 100% confirmed or denying the fact that there's been some reports that Toys R Us is being bought by different investors, at least in the United States.
Well, I'd heard that a while back, but I heard that Amazon was wanting to buy them. Of course, Toys R Us went bankrupt in the United States, but I think there's still Toys R Us stores in Canada.
One store.
One store in Canada?
I think it's Ontario or Toronto. But, I don't want to say what the death of Toys R Us was people want to say that it was online shopping. No, Toys R Us problem was...
they had a horrible online store, because I tried to get on there to order something, and I mean, it was just it was a mess.
Yeah. I've used it a couple times, and I would, you type in something like, I type in, let's say, Star Wars figures. I get 20 things that weren't even related to Star Wars, and
oh really?
I get action figures from different franchises. I'm like, why would you sort Marvel figures with Star Wars figures? I mean,
try to sell you some more, maybe, or maybe it's just a poor system. I don't know, but it wasn't very good. So, I mean, I think that would have been a help if they had a better online store. But, they sold their company basically to investors who came in and wanted to do all this changing, and they had all this money to pay back, and I don't know what they were thinking, but I mean, they had to make so much money or they were going to go under. And in the store, their prices were too high.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't want to say that Walmart would have contributed to outbuying them, basically, but
Walmart's doing okay. In fact, I heard the other day that Walmart's the #1 toy seller now, since Toys R Us is out of business. I don't know if that's going to stay that way, but I know Target's giving them a run for the money. They're having a lot of exclusives and stuff. But who did you hear that's going to buy Toys R Us?
I'd have to pull it up. I actually can pull it up real quick.
Toys R Us was an experience, and that's one of the things about it. It was just all toys for the most part. I enjoyed going there, but I didn't buy a whole lot of stuff because, like I said, the prices were just too high compared to online, compared to Walmart. So, and then of course back behind the scenes, their investments or their bankruptcy, what they did with their money was their doom. I would like for somebody to buy them. I heard that no, it's not Toy Biz.
Party City.
Party City's wanting to buy Toys R Us?
Well, no, I know this is a report from June. Former Toys R Us CEO reportedly considered reviving the toy retailer. So Party City is about to open up 50 Toy City pop-up stores.
Oh.
Toys R Us supporters needed to raise up to $1 billion by Memorial Day to save a chunk of it, just to save a local Toys R Us. I mean, the list of these, the chances of them rebooting it are just so long. I mean, and my thing is, if Toys R Us took a misstep along the way.
KB Toys is what I was thinking. They're trying to come back in the malls. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, I was just saying that there's a KB Toys used to be a toy store in all the malls that I heard they're trying to make a comeback. Yeah, I've been collecting for a long time, and I've noticed that there's seasons and there's ups and downs, and like
wintertime is the best time to buy.
Well, no, what I mean by seasons is that there'll be awesome toys come out, like Star Wars Legacy and USS Flag and stuff, and then you'll have low times. And the same things with stores. KB, if they're coming back, you may have a resurgence of toy stores going back. This is a low time. Toys R Us went out of business, you know.
Sears, a lot of these big corporate chains are going to start, I don't want to say disappearing from the map, but it's going to affect the industry, because I don't want to say it reminds me of the movie Idiocracy, where everybody has to go to Costco to buy everything, but
yeah,
it's kind of a scary reality.
Well, it all comes down to money. You know, people want to buy American.
You got to pay more.
But they're going to, yeah, it comes down to money. I'm going to buy American, but it really comes down to money. It always does. I mean, so anyway, I talked about this in another podcast. You know, I used to be in the energy business, and the price of oil, you know, toys are made from oil. Plastic comes from oil. And I don't understand why the price of toys is so high when the price of oil went down after the Great Recession. They're still high, and now they even cut articulation out of it. So I don't know what's going on there. I haven't researched it. I've noticed though, but Toys R Us may come back. I mean, things have a tendency of coming back. It's just the way things are. You know, Star Wars was dead for a long time. Star Wars from 85 to 95, there wasn't much at all. And then they came back with the toys. Then they decided to make the movies around 2000. And it's kind of hung in there. We didn't have any movies, though, until,
I mean,
Force Awakens.
05 to what? Let's say 2010, 2012 maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, that's 7-8 years of...
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what I've noticed, that there's highs and lows in everything. And same thing with toys. Right now, the quality of toys, I'm not really super excited about, especially, well, it just comes down to also decisions that some of these companies like Hasbro is making. Some of the decisions, it's going to impact them. And just like Toys R Us, their business decisions led to their own demise.
Yeah, I mean, Toys R Us has a good gig. I mean, they had a good idea, and for the longest time they had the like the Toys R Us exclusive figures. Yeah. It's like those were that makes you want to come in and do your shopping. That's not just you know, that's good to have. And then when they stop making all these Toys R Us exclusives,
you know who's got the Toys R Us exclusive now? It's Walmart. Amazon and Target. Well, Walmart too. Walmart's getting them.
Because I've noticed none of those TIE Fighters have been out anywhere else. I haven't seen any of them.
I subscribe to Toy News Toy Newsy, Toy News International, and JC's got some really good news. And a lot of Toys R Us exclusives are now Amazon exclusives, and are also Target exclusives. So they made up for it, you know. So the exclusives are coming out still, but they're and not Toys R Us or somebody else. So I mean, you know, the king of it is Walmart. That's the king of it. So that business model is what people are going to have to follow. Toys R Us was an experience. You can go in there and get to walk around and all that stuff, but keeping all that stuff in stock probably isn't a reality anymore.
And I mean, I'm sure it was hard on the business to keep everything in stock all the time. I mean, for the longest time, I remember, what was it, 2001? It was after the Phantom Menace came out, so maybe Attack of the Clones was coming out. Toys R Us had so many Phantom Menace figures, I could literally fill a shopping cart with how many of them. And they were so cheap, they were $1 a figure, and I could have bought a whole store worth of them.
Yeah, and they need to get into distribution, because, I mean, like with comic books and toys, they don't get to pick them, and
you get what
like
you
with comic books, yeah, well, they make you buy them, and you have to buy this many, or you don't get them. And if they're crap, you're stuck with them. They make you buy them. So we'll see. Hopefully Toys R Us will come back in some sort of reincarnation. I'd like to see it, but it probably won't ever be the same. It might resemble it.
Yeah, I mean, Walmart. I for the longest time couldn't stand Walmart just because it takes away from small business. But you know, Walmart's, they gotta make money. They're like everybody else. You know, I'm sure you got no love for them, and nobody does. But
everybody hates Walmart, but they go to Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, that's just reality.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't like going there, but
I have to go there.
I still go there because, you know, money. You know, I wish I could go to. Well, Walmart has everything. I mean, look at them. They have everything. You can go there and get everything you need and go home. Instead of going to the drugstore and then going to the grocery store and then going to the car parts store, I mean, hardware store.
Yeah.
They got everything. So, and they've gotten good at it. So, now I'm not one to bash Walmart, but they're a thing. So, if I, you know, was smart enough, I love toys so much, I would probably open up my own toy store or something like that and figure it out along the way. But Toys R Us, they screwed themselves from what I gather. So they could still be around if they had changed their business and didn't make some bad decisions. And that's life, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Gotta make good decisions.
I mean, if you just break down I mean, it's not really common sense. It's just, if you have toys sitting on the shelf for 6 months to a year that haven't moved, my first instinct is sell the dang things.
Well, yeah, exactly. But look at Walmart. I mean, they're really bad. They'll have something on sale, and that's not the sale price, and then they'll be there like a month later. That playset from Last Jedi is still there. It was 150, now it's 45, but it's still there.
Well, that's kind of on Hasbro. They made not that great of a toy, so it's
and that's the point
for a flop movie.
You can't blame Walmart or Toys R Us all the time, because, like I said, distributors have a lot to do with that too, and poor distribution is part of it. So, but maybe Toys R Us will come back. I hope they do.
It'd be nice to see. And I don't think the younger generations will appreciate it as much as. I'm not saying I'm old, but I really appreciate when I used to, as a kid, would go to Toys R Us, because you get everything. You got every dang toy you could ever want in Toys R Us. I mean, why would you ever? And there wasn't Walmarts 20 years ago. I mean, there might have been.
There was, but they wasn't like they were now.
Yeah.
They were super Walmart.
And see, because I used to live in Seattle.
But you had KB Toys in the mall.
But there wasn't Walmarts. Because in the city of Seattle, they say no Walmarts.
Oh, yeah.
They banned, you have to go north 50
miles.
Walmart's,
they have a hard time building. Even here, they have a hard time. They get a lot of backlash, but everybody goes to them. But, you know, they got the KB Toys is supposedly coming back. I hope they do. You'll have to go to the mall, or they'll be in a strip mall, or in a mall.
I hate going to the mall.
And then, you know, Walgreens has got some exclusives now. I mean, you literally have to go on a toy run to all these different places to get what you want. And you know, if everything was under one roof like it used to be with Toys R Us, it wouldn't be too bad. But their prices were just so high.
I mean, even when I was in there when they were closing, I mean, the deals weren't that great. I mean, okay, they said like 3 weeks. They said somewhere in October they'd be closing, and then the best deals they had were 15% off Star Wars figures, and they weren't even good figures. I mean, yeah. I'm like, I mean, I could shop around and go, hey, I can go on eBay and get them for this much, and figures are only worth what people are willing to pay for them.
That's right. Nothing's ever worth more than people what you can get for it. You know, I learned that from eBay and other places. I mean, price guides don't mean anything nowadays. It's only worth what you can get for it. So, and money's tight for a lot of folks. So, I don't want them to stop making toys, but somebody's making some money here.
Yeah, one way or another, somebody is.
Okay, well, do you have anything to add on that? Okay, well, thanks for watching. This has been our Toys R Us episode, and come back. We'll have some more videos, and